All right, we are live. So we're live. Thanks everyone for joining us, whether you're watching on Crowdcast or whether you're watching on Periscope or Facebook or YouTube. We're streaming live to pretty much everywhere nowadays. Today we're extremely excited about the topic that we're going to be talking about with you guys today, and that is the topic of making your first sale on Shopify. This is something that anyone who's starting a Shopify store has probably Googled and looked through forums and social media and how strategies on how to make their first sale. You know, we all know that starting a new business, getting your first few sales is the hardest part. And once you can do that and you can start building some momentum, your success rate is going to go up. So today I'm going to be having on a few Shopify store owners to talk about how they made their first sale. I'm going to ask them some questions and strategies that they found successful. And hopefully you guys will be able to implement some of those strategies yourself. The cool thing about today is all the people that are going to be joining me, both of them are Bold employees. So earlier this year, Bold basically told all of our employees, hey, if you're going to start a Shopify store, we're going to help you do it. So a bunch of employees have started Shopify stores selling various products, things from clothes to fidget spinners to hair products to a bunch of other stuff. And it's kind of started an interesting trend with us getting involved in Shopify and learning more about the platform. And a lot of us have come to the same challenge that many other store owners face, and that is making the first sale. So that's why we thought today it'd be a good idea to chat about this and to see how we can help you guys out and whether we can come up with some strategies. So today, first off, I just want to let you guys know if you haven't, we are monitoring the questions. So please feel free to submit one if you have a question about one of the stores, or if you have a question about Shopify in general, or just making your first sale, or maybe you just want to say hello. We would love if you did that. Otherwise, you can always reach us after the show by reaching out to us on social media. We'd still love to chat, even if it isn't live. So first, I'm going to bring on Grandel. Grandel is the owner of thosefidgetthings.com. And if you haven't heard of a fidget spinner before, I'm quite surprised by that. They're quite popular these days. If you walk down the street or you go to a downtown area, I'm sure you'll probably see a few fidget spinners. And he started to sort of sell them. So we're going to bring him on today. So Grandel, if you'd like to join me. Sit down here.
Hello, everybody.
So I want to say it right off the bat now, because now that I'm sitting back, that background is not fake. It's actually real. Those are clouds, and it looks kind of like a Windows XP-esque wallpaper, and kind of looks fake. But I assure you, it's real. So let's get right down to it. Greta, maybe you want to tell me a little bit about your store and what got you on the idea, and I'll pull up the store here so people can see it. So Greta, you want to tell me about how you came up with the idea for those fidget things?
Yeah, for sure. So basically, I came up with the idea of selling these guys. These are fidget spinners, if you don't know what it looks like. So basically, it just spins around. It's meant to be used for stress relief, ADHD, kind of just get you focused. So basically, where I got the idea from is my friend actually was the one who introduced me to it. We were at a party, and he was spinning this thing with his fingers, and I was like, what is that? And funny enough, like later that day, like on Instagram and a bunch of social media, I keep seeing these, and I was like, hey, I've been thinking of an idea for my old business thing, and this would probably be a good product to start selling. So I did a bunch of research before I opened up my store, and a week later, I opened up thosefidgetthings.com, and within that first day, actually, I made my first sale. So.
Yeah, and that's obviously a large part of making your first sale is having a compelling product and having a compelling story. And obviously fidget spinners are really popular nowadays, and I'm sure that there is many different avenues you could have looked for advertising, and that's not surprising that you had success so quickly. So let's I'm just gonna go and pull up here and pull up a screen because I want to show off your website here. And let's go to it's thosefidgetthings.com, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm sorry, you guys, on Periscope, you can't see this live, but you can go to thosefidgetthings.com if you'd like to see the website and what we're talking about. So, Greta, tell me about how you made that first sale. What avenue did you find was the best for making that first sale?
So for my first sale, the day I was launching was like early Saturday morning. I was on my phone and I figured, why not use Snapchat? So while I was in the middle of making my site live, Snapchatting the whole process, and on that, it kind of was like advertising that for family and friends, I'll give you a certain discount. And soon enough, after I posted it, my friend's boyfriend was actually messaging me. He was like, "Hey, could I get the discount code for that?" And within that first hour, I actually made my first sale. So it's pretty sweet.
You know, and that's not, I don't think that's out of the norm, because when you search, online for your first sale, one thing that comes up pretty consistently is leveraging your family, your friends, and, they're a great starting point, because if they're interested in buying the product, that proves that there's a market out there for you, right?
Yeah.
So I think that, using Snapchat to connect with your friends and family and your personal accounts is great. Have you done any, do you have a Facebook, Instagram? Have you seen some success with that?
Yeah, I have both Instagram and Facebook. I've kind of been using the Instagram account a lot more rather than my Facebook. But like prior to launching my site, I actually spent like the entire week building up my Instagram account, trying to get followers, getting likes, posting stuff to kind of like watch for these products that I'm going to be launching. And it's helped me drive traffic to my site. So in terms of sales, I've seen some abandoned carts from people I don't know. So unfortunately, I haven't had much success on converting those customers. But I feel like I just need to do a lot more marketing for my products.
Yeah, and that's understandable. I think a lot of new Shopify store owners out there who may be watching this, if you haven't had a ton of traffic, you're probably thinking, man, if I could get an abandoned cart, I'd be so happy, because that meant that somebody was like almost ready to buy, and then they bailed. It's exciting to get that first almost sale.
Yeah.
Almost as exciting as to get your first sale. But from a marketing perspective, like what do you find is the most important for your Instagram strategy? Is content super important? Is it being super timely? What works well?
I've noticed that like the type, like your photos definitely plays a big role in it. If you kind of just posted like a generic photo, you don't get as much likes. But if you kind of put in effort into the photos that you're uploading and putting in personalized stuff, hashtags definitely play a big role in it to get those likes. But yeah, I feel like definitely the way you portray your photos play a big role as well.
For sure. I mean, looking at your website, again, thosefidgetthings.com, it looks professional, and I know that that's often, something that people consistently come back to is the web's professional,
right.
Can it be trusted?
Yeah.
And I think that, in itself is an important way to get your first sale is, the saying, fake it till you make it. I'm sure people have heard that before, is making yourself, maybe big, it's okay to admit that maybe you're small and maybe you just started your new Shopify store, but sometimes, you want to relay the vision that you're bigger than you are, than you're trustworthy, so that people will make that first sale. Because, let's be honest, when you're buying products online, you can't see it first, right? You can't play around with it to see what kind of the quality is like. You're kind of taking a leap of faith. And if it's a brand you haven't seen before, you're taking a double leap of faith. So you got to be able to have that trust. And
exactly.
I know like quality product images and pictures are definitely going to come, a big fact of converting traffic. So Grant, are there any other strategies that you've put into place, or things that you're maybe thinking of doing next? Paid advertising, or what have you found? What do you think may be successful for you in the future?
I think moving forward, I'm going to focus a lot more on Facebook advertisements. Just because I've been reading a lot of blogs and articles about marketing my products, and it seems like Facebook right now is the way to go. You can target specific targets. I was actually looking into using Shopify's Kit app to kind of do a lot of that for me. So.
Yeah, it's a good point for you new store owners out there that may have a budget that you want to work with for advertising. You know, say you have $100 or $200 that you're looking to get your store started with. Now that Kit is a free app from Shopify, I can vouch that it does a great job. You basically install it, you tell it what products you want to focus on, and it will start making suggestions. Like I think just, you know, for a store that I run, I just got an email saying, hey, you know, sales of this industry are up 18%.
Yeah.
Why don't you enable a Facebook ad now? Yeah. And all you got to do is tell it how much you want to spend, and it will create the ad for you, and it will tell you this is how much you made off the ad. Mm-hmm. So start with small amounts, see how it works for you. If you have, you know, if you're spending $10 and you're starting to see return, if you don't see money, you know, returning from it, then you can just disable the ad and you know, not run it anymore. Yeah. But it, you know, for people who are maybe a bit, you know, novice to the idea of creating Facebook ads, I mean, it creates everything for you.
Yeah. For the first week that I've used it, it's super simple. It would just message me on Facebook Messenger and be like, hey, we noticed that you uploaded this new product. You want to run an advertisement for it? And all I have to say is yes, and then tell it how much money I wanted to spend.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, it's so simple, right? All you gotta do is click yes, yeah. Right? It's like, you know, as simple as it could be to market your store. No, I think that's a great idea. So Greta, before I let you go, is there any pieces of advice you'd have for, you know, making your first sale maybe, but just for people who are looking to open their first Shopify store and get started? You know, what words of advice would you give to them?
Basically, just do a ton of marketing. Because without marketing, no one will see your site, and eventually nobody will buy. Or eventually, if you get those followers, you'll get people buying your first product and having your first sale.
I mean, that's a very good point. People can't buy a product if they're not visiting your store. So focusing on driving traffic, it should be a number one goal for sure. Perfect. Thanks, Kendall, for jumping on with me. I appreciate you talking about your store. We'll definitely include the link in our follow-up email so that you guys can browse it. Again, it was at thosefidgetthings.com. If you're looking for something to spin your hands or keep your mind occupied, you should head to thosefidgetthings.com.
Yeah, check out, guys.
Perfect. Thank you, Randall.
Yeah.
So that was that, guys. You hopefully got some tips from Randall and you know, some ideas that he had for getting your first sale. Hopefully you found those beneficial. So we're going to move on to our second guest, you could say. Her name is Melanie, and she co-runs an apparel company called Fat Rich Wild. We're going to bring her on here to talk about her store, how she got started, and again, how she made her first sales and kind of talk through some more strategies. Again, I want to remind you guys that if you have any questions at all, if you have some suggestions on topics you'd like to talk about, or just, questions about Shopify, please submit them. We'd love to chat with you about them. So without further ado, Melanie, you want to join me over here?
Hi.
How's it going?
Good.
So let's pull up your story here so you can get an idea. So Melanie, tell me, how'd you get started with Fat Rich Wild?
I don't know where to look. Where should I be looking?
Well, we got a camera there, and then we got a camera there,
okay.
So you can kind of look wherever you want, or I'm open.
Okay. How do we get started? Well, started off as just a really fun idea between two friends. We always joked about it. We came up with the name one day, and we loved it. And another friend of ours made us a logo, and we kind of ran with it. Then one day we were just kind of like, why not? Let's do it. And we just gave it a go. We just opened our store, fatrichwild.com. Check it out.
That's awesome. So obviously you have the store up here. So what do you guys sell? It looks like apparel.
Yeah. Well, if you can see what I have, there you go. Oh. So it's more of a lifestyle brand. Fat Rich Wild. It's our I guess logo, but our way of life as well. We want to see everyone wearing it, how they style it, everyone's unique in how they wear it. And that's the best part about it, seeing it out there in the real world.
Totally. So speaking of seeing it out there in the real world, how did you guys make your first sale? What was your method for making your first sale?
Okay. Well, I guess it depends what you count as your first true sale. So how we got our first actual sale, like on paper, would have been through family and friends. So, once the store opened, we really pushed it out there on our personal accounts on Facebook and Instagram. And, you send your mom a text like, hey, Mom, opened a store, check it out. And my partner's father was actually our first customer.
Nice.
But our first true sale, which we just celebrated, was from Instagram, and that I'm counting as a sale from someone that we didn't know at all. So 5 shirts. We were pretty excited.
That's pretty amazing. So what is your strategy on Instagram? What do you guys post on Instagram generally?
Okay, well, we're just getting started. You can check us out. Follow us, Fat Rich Wilds. And basically, actually, right before I came on here, I was taking a look, and we're just playing around, seeing what performs best right now, doing different tests, posting pictures of people wearing the clothes, but also, just kind of like that lifestyle brand, quotes and things like that, things that fit in.
So, of course, since Bold initiated this program, we're all first-time Shopify store owners. We don't really have a ton of experience running online stores. Is there anything that you've learned, or any thing you picked up on, or anything that surprised you by running your first online store?
I would say, well, all of it was new to me, so it's an amazing learning experience that way. What has surprised me? I would just say how much thought and time, and really you put your whole heart into it. It's something you believe in. You just have this idea, and putting it out there has been the most surprising, is translating that into your website. Like, how does your website fit your brand? How does your social media, what are you going to post, that kind of thing?
For sure. And I know that every industry is a little bit different, but when you're speaking of like apparel, it's like you have to focus on building that brand, because no one wants you don't have that brand. So you kind of got to put yourself into the brand, and it's really just a representation of who you are in a way, right? Yeah,
definitely. And right now we're just playing around with what's working out there, testing out, doing just little ads, $3 on Facebook, $20, boosting a post here and there, seeing what people react to the best, and that kind of stuff.
So do you have any advice, now being a store owner and making your first sale, for other store owners on, like when they're getting started, things that they should be thinking about, or maybe just, any tips or advice?
The best advice I could think of would be just to go for it. Don't spend too much time trying to make things perfect. Just open the store. Like, we had the idea for almost, a couple months, if not almost a year, and just, played around with it. And we could have had the store open a year ago, and, so just do it. Start your store, open your store. Don't worry too much about making it perfect. And then from there, start your social media accounts and just start seeing what works. Like, start playing around with it. Don't be afraid to, put that money back in the store as well, and just play around with it.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I know that I often see stores coming to us asking us for advice on their store. And, that's a piece of advice I often share with them is you could spend, 8 hours a day, for 4 weeks straight, perfecting your website, changing up the copy, changing the design, all that kind of stuff. But it may not be necessarily the best use of your time in the beginning. In the beginning, when your store's new, you should spend all of your time on getting traffic.
Yeah.
So everything you're doing, you should ask yourself, am I driving traffic to my store? If not, why am I doing it?
Yeah, and just to play around with what's working. If something's not working, don't give up. Don't get frustrated. Just try something new. Change your shirt of a person wearing your clothing that's going to work best. Is it going to be a product image? Is it going to be an inspirational quote? Just play around with a bunch of different things to see what works best for your audience, because you never know until you try.
For sure. And, of course, understanding that you don't know everything is important.
Oh, yes. Definitely understand that.
I mean, in many different respects, you could think something is like the right to do something, but if the numbers are telling you otherwise, if you're buying your product, even though you think that your store is perfect, you kind of have to take the data as the hint and start making changes, even if it may be opposite to what you believe. Yeah,
it's definitely really humbling, because you put your heart into it, right? Maybe, let's say with us, you come up with a design, like a new design, and you launch it, and you just know it's going to be your new number one bestseller, and no one buys it. And it's, you got to take your emotions out of it. And if you see, it's not what you thought it was, put in a new one, or maybe start promoting a different one. And maybe your number one bestseller is going to be something that is not your favorite, but other people really react to it. So try and take your emotions out of it as much as possible too, and go by what the numbers are telling you.
Perfect. So is there anything else you'd like to share with us, Mel? Anything you think that new store owners should know?
Oh, no, just do it. If you're thinking about opening a
Nike.
store, just, thank you, Nike, for the plug. No, just do it. Just go ahead, start your store, try it out, see what works. Just go for it.
Perfect. Well, thanks for joining me, Mel.
Thanks, Kevin, for having me on the webinar.
Thank you for answering some questions, and hopefully you guys got some took something away from this.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks, Mel.
Bye. Bye, Rich Wild.
So now you're just left with me. This is just me on this live stream now to talk about some ideas. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to submit them now. I'd love to chat with you. I'm actually going to just quickly check our Facebook page to ensure that I haven't left any questions there that are needing to be answered. So it looks like we're covered. I just want to go over a few of the things that we chatted about today and kind of just really work them back into here, especially for people who may be just joining the live stream now or missed the first few parts. A trend that we had when we're talking to store owners today was number one, just do it. There's such a euphoric feeling of getting your store live, and I know that speaking to merchants every day, people will often be just really delay in trying to get their store perfect. They'll continually think of something else they should be doing before making it live, and that's understandable. You don't want to launch something before it's ready, but at the same time, you kind of have to take the training wheels off at some point, and you need to launch the store and start getting feedback. If you don't have a brand existing and you're starting a brand new Shopify store and no one relatively knows that you exist, there's little harm with launching your store because in the beginning you won't have much traffic, and that traffic may not convert right away. But what that traffic will tell you is, how your store you can improve. So launching your store and getting those, first few views and feedback out of the way will help you get started and, ultimately help you progress in the future. The second thing is data. So when when you're launching a Shopify store, make sure that you have every form of data available to you. If you're going to be doing any sort of online advertising, make sure you have Google Analytics hooked up. It's in your Shopify settings. There's no excuse to not have that hooked up. Have any like Facebook tracking pixels. Again, it's dead simple to set up, but ultimately it will allow you to track what's happening to your store. And again, you should have this from the very beginning, because if people are coming to your store, you want to know what they're doing. And there's incredible value with being able to see, somebody came to my store and they just left right away. What does that mean? Or no one has made it to my product page. When I was I run my store, and when I've been running my store, I noticed for a while people from the data were going to the collections page, and I got a decent amount of traffic, say 100 views a day kind of thing. And Google Analytics was telling me that everyone was going to the collections page and then leaving. And I took a hard look at the collections page, and I realized that it looked dull, right? It just looked boring. It didn't look exciting. It didn't really tell my brand. So I made changes to my store, and I modified the collections page, and then suddenly people started converting. People started clicking to the product pages, and I started to make sales. So coming back to my original point is, until you launch, you won't have visitors. And until you have visitors, you won't have data. And until you have data, you don't really know how to perfect your online store or optimize it. So spending all the time in the beginning, before you have any traffic, trying to optimize your store is really a waste of time. If your store is already looks professional. In the beginning, focus on driving traffic. I've had a ton of people come to me asking about feedback on their site and installing different apps for conversion and trying all these different things. But in the beginning, as me and Mel talked about, you should only focus on things that are driving traffic to your store. So you should just continue asking yourself, is this going to drive traffic? And if it isn't, you probably shouldn't spend the time doing it. I know that most of you guys out there who are starting Shopify stores, this is probably a side gig. Maybe you're in school, maybe you have a full-time job. So time is limited. So you should spend that time doing the things that are going to be most beneficial for you and the things that are going to help you succeed and make sales. And that is driving traffic. So driving traffic through, as we chatted with a few store owners today about driving traffic through Instagram, social media, Snapchat, Facebook, posting consistently on there, posting good traffic and good content, writing blog posts, getting your word out there, putting stickers on the city. Whatever you have to do to drive traffic is what you should be doing in the beginning, because that's ultimately how you're going to make sales, right? And lastly, if you don't have the time, investing in Kit, it's free. Spending some money on online advertising is a great way to drive traffic. I recommend checking out Facebook or even Reddit ads or Pinterest ads. It's fairly easy to get started, and you can spend $5, $10. And I know that when I was getting started on my store, I didn't want to spend a ton of money. I didn't really know whether it was going to turn out. I didn't know whether the store was going to kind of be a failure or not. So I was pretty cautious about spending large amounts of money. So I was making ads that were $5 and $10 in small little amounts. But that $10 would bring 150 people to my store, and the 150 people to my store would show me about my store, give me information, and would help me understand, maybe why my store wasn't seeing success. And in fact, it was my second $10 Facebook ad that made my first sale. And once I got started, it felt so great, and I started driving traffic, and people started coming to my store. I started to feel confident about my product, and then I enabled retargeting, and people who had visited my store and then went to Facebook, they would then see the ads again, and the ball started rolling. And it all started happening because I focused on driving traffic and building social media presence. And if you ask anyone else, they're going to tell you the exact same thing, I'm sure. And so it means it's probably true. So I'm going to see if we have any questions. Like I said, if anyone has any questions about how to make a sale or things that they've run into problems with, please submit them now. Otherwise, we'll be pretty well covered off here. Well, let's see if we have any questions here. Doesn't look like it. Looks like we're pretty covered off on questions. It seems like hopefully we provided you guys some valuable advice. Hopefully you were able to take some of this advice and make your sales. Again, getting that first sale is the most important step to launching on Shopify. And I assure you, once you get it, it's going to feel so sweet. Frame it, put it on your wall, get excited about it, and then go for the second, third, fourth, and fifth one. And if you need any help at all, reach out to us here at Bold. We're doing these School of Commerce series every 2 weeks now. And the sole reason why we do these live streams is just to help you guys make money. Don't promote our product. We just want to help you guys be successful and just get off the ground. So if you have questions, always send them to us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just comment away. We'll definitely be able to answer your questions. We have our full previous episodes of School of Commerce. They're all available on our blog. So if you go to our blog, which is blog.boldcommerce.com, and you search School of Commerce, you will find out all of our previous episodes. You can rewatch when we talked about previous topics about email marketing, social media, that kind of stuff. And you can join us 2 weeks from today. Our next lesson, they happen every Thursday at 1 o'clock. We're going to be kicking off our Summer of Social School of Commerce event. So since school's out now, it's over. It's kids are enjoying some warm weather. We're going to focus completely on social media and helping you guys drive traffic through social media. We're going to be talking about the platforms you should focus on, how to utilize user-generated content, how to have a good presence on Instagram. We're going to talk about buying ads on social media. We're going to go into all of this over the course of 4 School of Commerce lessons happening every 2 weeks on Thursday at 1 o'clock. So again, I want to thank you guys. We got to go at 1 o'clock. You know what? If you go to our School of Commerce page, again, blog.boldcommerce.com, and you search School of Commerce, you will see our upcoming list of webinars there, and you can register for them so you get notified, or you can just make your way to our Facebook page, our Periscope account, our YouTube page. It's all live stream. So if you just go to our page at 1 o'clock Central Standard Time, I should mention that, on every second Thursday, we'll be doing this live. Whoops. So again, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I want to thank all my guests for jumping on with me today. It was great to be able to have you guys on, and I hope you guys were able to take something away from us, and we'll see you in 2 weeks at our next School of Commerce event. Take it easy, guys. Thank you.